Hello YouTube. One of my videos that I created shown that the Parsons Green was a 5G testing exercise. As I pointed out, you have to look at that video. I then said I'd concentrate on 5G research instead of false flag events. But I've come full circle, because not only was Parsons Green a 5G testing exercise, but so is every single event that's been reported as a terror attack. This report shows that Las Vegas was partnered with Cisco in June of this year using the 5G technology. It states that smart city technology was being trialled in Las Vegas and discusses testing a pilot area in terms of security in a real-life environment. It also discusses using the testing to prepare for autonomous cars and people profiling. But then the article actually goes on to state that in February 2015, Cisco signed up with the French government to cover Paris, and then just months later we had the Paris attacks, and then signed up to transform Berlin in 2016, and of course then we have the Berlin truck attack. It's definitely all linked. The Brussels reported attack happened in March 2016, which was just months after Brussels' digital commissioner calls a meeting to the 10 largest telecom groups to speed up and implement the 5G technology. A few months later, Brussels' attack is reported. In Manchester, in July 2016, these two phone companies announced that they're trialling out 5G technologies. And then what do we have? The Manchester reported attack. All this testing, this so-called security measures for the 5G technology, it's all coming from the European Union. The European Conference on Networks and Communications in 2015 had a list of speakers. One woman was called Isabelle Bacale, who works with Thales Communication and Security, and I will leave a link for you to actually go and have a look at the video. So this woman, on behalf of Thales Communication and Security, is talking about something called Absolute, aerial base stations for unexpected events. And the project was outlined as in the aftermath of an emergency or disaster or unexpected event. They talked about our communication infrastructure plays an important part, and the role that Absolute was playing was to evaluate communication scenarios for public safety. Another speaker at that event was a woman called Yi Ma of Surrey University, which presented the Rescue Project, which would provide links on the fly technology for smart communications, of which Thales Security is also involved. And it also should be noted that Surrey University are the university that have been given funding to be pushing this 5G technology also. 5G Infrastructure Association has issued a document which reads on page 13, service continuity during disaster scenarios. A number of technologies are being explored based on the narrative multicast/broadcast capabilities. These latter can offer solutions to thundering herd events, where huge numbers of data and video requests need to be served by 5G networks. The C3 configures different network entities for relay selection, coverage extension and handover. This reconfiguration enables providing different service priorities to relay to firemen and police under network out of coverage situations in both urban and rural areas. So we can see that all these agencies are all pushing forward with this technology, and also the need for it to be trialled, and this is where the false flags come in. Now, the nature of the 5G technology is such that they have to convince the public that they're in need of protection, because this technology means complete surveillance of the public. That's what a smart city is, and people should think very seriously about the implications of this technology for their health and their lives, because it's essentially, it means smart cities are just surveillance cities forced on us by utility companies. which means higher levels of human illness and disabilities. We're facing dangerous levels of microwave radiation. All personal privacy will be lost. There'll be nowhere, including your own home, that isn't an open forum. So you see, they have to create the events claiming them to be terror attacks to test the 5G technology, whilst creating the atmosphere of fear to which people will welcome the very surveillance cities that they're pushing. And even while I was making this video, there was a report that a gunman was holding people hostage in Nuneaton, which just happens to be one of the very 4 areas who have just been given a share of 51 million by the government to test the 5G infrastructure, as in the automated cars. Okay, well, I'll leave that with you folks. I think it's obvious what we're seeing now, and I'll leave the link to all the things I've talked about, and also leave a link to my website, Annie-Logical Uncensored. Thank you for listening. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hello YouTube, I'm going to make this a quick video. I've just seen via the news that there's been an incident 30 miles from San Antonio in Sutherland Springs which involves a church and 26 people shot. Straight away I'm thinking 5G testing again. Went straight onto the AT&T website. They've just bought new Spectrum licenses, and they were testing in the very same area on something called Direct TV Now, and I'm going to share this link with you. They actually even mentioned the fact that they're going to be testing in the very same area in churches, in a church and a university setting. Now, you know, how are you going to test live TV networks in a church setting? I don't think it's going to be people singing, do you? I think they would have to involve an event that was going to go live. So here's the links to that. Once again, 5G testing, and it is getting silly now, because even the Welsh Fire Department had just spent over £250,000 on new software, and we're due to have a live event testing that they were going to be reporting on in a conference that was planned for early December. So even that event was 5G testing. So, you know, every European and UK area that had the terrorist events where either someone was shot or, you know, a car drove into people. And don't forget, 5G technology is all about autonomous cars. Okay, so they've got these tests. Every single area has either just spent vast amounts of money for software that tests for it, or they've just paid for airwaves that test for it, or equipment, like I said. In the Parsons Green event, the BBC had just updated all their equipment for 5G, and they were doing a test. In Las Vegas, they were testing the new 5G technology. It's all in my last videos. And now the Welsh Fire Department and this event in Texas all just happen to be testing for 5G, okay? And to actually admit that they were going to be testing in a church situation, I think it rests. And the audacity of these people to actually have their fire station built by a company called BREE, which is a research engineering company, building research. They was built by BREE, and then they're telling us that one of the children's name was BREE, along with Sam, Kit, all names that if you put fireman in front of, you know, it's an obvious joke. They take the piss, and then they've got people saying you're insensitive, saying that people didn't die. No, they're insensitive for using all these fearful events to test this bloody dangerous technology. It's now really getting on my nerves. It's time people woke up and realised what the hell is going on. I'm Annie-Logical. Thanks for listening. And don't forget, AT&T were also involved in the 5G testing of technology in Las Vegas when that event occurred. Bye.